So now me and you, whenever fit love my neighbor as myself. Now Jesus they talk, say, love one another as I have loved you. Wahala no dey? Wahala no dey? Now me and you, whenever finish love your neighbor as yourself. Let me give you a practical real life story. Myself, when I became the first parish, I became parish priest, St. John the Beloved, Tungamaji. Small time they gave me an assistant. So now me be organ now. I don't get an assistant. Abi? Whenever my car spoils or had issue, I will call the mechanic. Carry, he will go. He will bring bill after repairing. I will pay. Then, this me I notice. So when my assistant's car has issue, and they carry and bring back, he will not bring the bill. I will start studying the bill. But why is this one like this now? And why is this like this? Why is this like this? I will query the bill and query before I will reluctantly pay. Most times, the money used in repairing, so it's not even up to the one used in repairing my own. You see, when it is my own, I will give out the money. But when it is his own, I will form a committee in my brain that is going to study the bill first, looking for a reason why it should not be done. It was one day, it didn't just occur to me. I'm like, God, what kind of thing is this? Shebi my own will come and I'll just give the money without even querying. The only thing I may do is to make sure that the guy is not cheating me. But when it is my assistant, a committee of a panel of inquiry, no, it's true. And the work of the committee is to make sure to look for a reason why that money should not be given. See how the devil and nature was using me to practice selfishness. I realized, I said, God, this is not normal. And this is not you. That was the day I gave my life to Christ over that issue. Yes. So what I did, I handed over parish finance to him. Now you're in charge. When your car, all you need to do is just inform me out of respect and pay. The devil will not use me to be doing scrutiny. We are like that. To love our neighbor as ourselves is even difficult. Then Jesus is saying, love one another as I have loved you. If you are not scared of being a Christian yet, you don't know what it means to be a Christian. If you are not scared of being a Christian, you don't know what it means to be a Christian. Because it is love that defines us. He said, it is by this love that people will know you are my disciples. Second point, he said, I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. A new commandment. So if there is a new, that means there was an old. There is an old. Abi, what is that old one? What is the old commandment? Jesus said, I'm giving you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. Which one is the old then? No. He said, I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. That is the new commandment. So what is the old one? No. You are talking about Mosaic commandment. That's not Mosaic commandment. This will be the second time Jesus is giving commandment. The other one is, he says the commandments are basically two. When they ask him which is the greatest and the first of all the commandments, you remember? He says to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your... And the second is like he said, love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. That is the first commandment. And then they asked him, who is my neighbor? Because for the Jews, their neighbor is their fellow Jew. If you interpret as a Catholic, that means your neighbor is your fellow Catholic. If you interpret as an Igbo person, that means your neighbor is your fellow Igbo person. Any other person that is not Igbo is not your neighbor. Then Jesus now told them the story of the Good Samaritan. The person he helped, they do not share the same religion. They do not share the same. In fact, the person he helped they are racially enemies, which will now go forth to tell you a part of the expansion of loving your neighbor yourself is to say, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute. So that one has become old now. That one has become old. So in that love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus is saying, you are the measure of the love you give. In other words, I'm asking you, the way you love yourself, extend the same love to what? To your neighbor. So for instance, if you have money to buy clothes for yourself and your neighbor does not have, you can buy one clothes for yourself and still have money. That means as you have bought one for yourself, you should do what? Buy one for your neighbor. If you are eating food and there is only one chunk of meat there, you want it, your neighbor wants it. Since he said love your neighbor as yourself, what do? You divide it into two, right? And give one to your neighbor and take one. That is loving your neighbor as yourself. And this world would have even been a better place if we can even do that. So you are the measure. But here Jesus is now saying, I'm upgrading it. I'm giving you a new one. Now I'm saying to you, love one another as I have loved you. So you are no longer the measure of the love you give. Jesus is now the measure of the love you give. You are in trouble. We are in trouble. It means that if you are eating and there is only one meat, and if dividing that meat, we mean that it will not benefit anybody because you will reduce the nutrients and the value. Then Jesus is saying, you will carry that meat and do what? Give to the other person, and you will go without meat. I just look my head, they look Jesus, I say, you know who they people whenever we share one big meat. Now in the term, make them come to the level of what? Giving out the entire meat. Help me look your neighbor, say, see you now. Now you Jesus. Oh my God. Praise God. It's like people whenever pass simple arithmetic, they will say, make them go do further mass. That's you and I. Jesus is now the measure of the love. Love as I have loved you. I left heaven to come down to your level. I did not even come and become a prince above you. I lived in the normal life. That's why many of you don't even see me finish. If you read that passage continue, you say, a greater love has no man than that he should do what? Lay down his life. So now me and you, whenever fit love my neighbor as myself. Now Jesus they talk, say, love one another as I have loved you. Wahala no dey? Wahala no dey? Love your neighbor as yourself would turn this world into a paradise.